Welcome to part 2 of EDM Start to Finish. In this episode, I will program the drop synths for the track. I will be using Synth 1. I may also use Union at some point. The first sound I'm going to make is the super saw, which I'm going to use in the drop and possibly in the breakdown. So, Synth 1 is currently set to the initialized preset, which sounds like this. It's quite basic, quite boring. So what I'm going to do first of all is change oscillator A2 to a saw wave and oscillator B2 to a pulse wave or square wave, and I'm going to leave the other oscillators as they are. Now I'm going to change some things up with the octaves. I'm going to leave oscillator A1 as it is, decrease oscillator A2 by an octave, put oscillator B1 up an octave, and oscillator B2 down an octave, which now sounds like this. Now I'm going to set voices to the maximum and turn off retrigger. Now it sounds like this. We're getting there, but it's still not a super saw yet, so I'm going to turn phase to about halfway. Now I'm going to start detuning the saw. Listen carefully. And there we have ourselves a super saw. Okay, there are just a few things I want to do with the effects here. So, first of all, I'm going to turn on chorus, but not very much of it, so this is what it sounds like now. It's just a little bit wider, and it gives it a kind of cool effect. Now I'm going to turn delay on, and as you can see, I've only got a tiny bit. We only need about 8%, so now this is what it sounds like. There is an option to add reverb, but I think I'm going to do that later on in the mixer. But let's just do it now to see what it sounds like. Okay, so now with the effects done, we can move on to our next sound. Okay, let's make a sub bass. Sub bass is very simple to make. All you need to do is set all the oscillators to a sine wave, which, as I've discussed in a previous video, is the most basic sound possible. I'm just going to put a little bit of compression. And we'll put a lot more effects on that when it comes to it. But that is very simple, and that's how you make a sub bass. Okay, so for this next one, we're going to be tweaking an existing preset rather than creating a new one. This is BS Unison Bass, which is a preset that comes with Synth 1. So if you have Synth 1, you have this. And this is what it sounds like currently. Let's look at what we have going on here. Okay, we have got one oscillator with a square wave, two with a half pulse, and one with a quarter pulse. So what can we change here? So I'm going to set the phase on oscillator A1 to about halfway. Now I'm just going to reduce the cutoff a bit. And let's put some distortion on. Now it sounds like an electric guitar. That's cool. Okay, now let's create another saw to layer with the first saw that we've got. So let's work with what we've got here. Let's use the preset that we created earlier on, which sounds like this. Okay, so first of all, let's just change this one, which is a square wave, to another saw. And let's just turn down the detune slightly. Just so we don't get that swell effect so much, let's also turn off the chorus. Put on a bit of compression. Okay, so what can we do here? Let's narrow the stereo field just a bit. Okay, so this is our first saw wave synth. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, so this is our first one. And then this is the one we just created. Let's see what it sounds like when we layer them. It just becomes an overall wider sound. Thanks for watching. In the next episode, I will create the drums for the track. Please subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.